We are back. Hello. It's been a bit. It's been a while. What episode is this? Episode 17 of Pit to Podium. Welcome. It is almost 10 o'clock on Tuesday, the 25th of March.
PM, I might add.
PM, yes. And for those of you who listened to last episode, Mark Altman was joined through the virtual airwaves through my phone, but we have a surprise for everybody.
I'm back.
He's back. He's back in the studio.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Back again.
Altman's back. Tell a friend to listen to this podcast. Please listen to our podcast and spread it to your friends.
I love the plug.
Sam is not here again. It is his birthday, so he's out with his girlfriend.
Big wishes for happy birthday.
Big wishes for Mr. Birthday Boy. Mr. Nichols.
Anybody
big
that listens to
guy,
this, we're going to post this on the Instagram. Go give him a birthday wish.
Go give him a birthday
wish.
Absolutely. We love Sam. We miss him too. But the reason why we wanted to get this video out so late is because, well, first of all, spring break was last week. Mm-hmm. And if anyone was paying attention to the Instagram, like propaganda war that happened over spring break, it was incredible. So basically, long story short, the U92 FM and U92 Sports Instagram pages are doing this March Madness tournament type thing where they will post two podcasts on their story, and they will allow people to vote on whoever they think is better. And that was a few days ago. The first match was between Pit to Podium and Nico Corretto's Beyond the Boot.
And this was just to get into the tournament.
This was just
essentially like a first four game for all you March Madness.
Yes. It was practically a play-in game for the Elite Eight. It would be, and then you go to the Final Four. But you can still find remnants of it on our Instagram, pitopodium.ig or _. Okay, I have access to it now, and I don't know it. Hang on, let me off the top of my head.
For any of the listeners, a lot of the posts pretty quickly became Andrew going to war. I wish I could send some of the group chat interactions when this is all going on, because it was so good.
My favorite part of this was the Monsters Inc. scene where it says Mark Altman, Andrew Hartlove, Trey Steyer, and Sam Nichols preparing to record an episode of Pit to Podium. It's better than Beyond the Boot.
So so we posted a lot of propaganda there. Like, first of all, it was a picture of Rich Rod holding up a sign and pointing at you, just saying "Vote Pit to Podium." And then Beyond the Boot, they shot back with a picture of, it's like I Show Speed with
Ronaldo.
Yeah, Ronaldo, and he's like, vote for Beyond the Mat. And then I just went wild, and I saw that, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make a I Show Speed F1
Andrew's trigger
video.
fingers turned to Twitter fingers.
And then I posted that video, and then I posted the slander video later on. But then by that point, it was pretty much already too late. Beyond the Boot pretty much single-handedly sort of took down Pit to Podium.
I don't know where all those votes came from.
So
I'm part of the group that believes there are some bots involved. I think there was some late voting.
No, so
I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's all in good fun. And me, Nico Corretto is a friend of the podcast on the PRT Boys podcast with me. He pretty much told me, he's like, look, my roommate went ham. He knows people who knows people who knows people. I'm like, all right. We had no chance. But no, it's all in good fun. As of right now, there's a match going on. I don't know who's the matchup.
PRT Boys destroyed.
MSI.
MSI.
Yeah, and the PRT Boys will be going to the Elite Four, and I think they'll be playing Beyond the Mat, I believe.
I think you guys got the wrestling podcast.
But beyond that, that was a very, very interesting 24 hours between us and Nico Corretto and Cody Burton, who are running the show over there at Beyond the Boot. Definitely take a listen to that podcast. Mm-hmm. As much as we crap on them for that day and a half, it's all in good fun. It was all out of love. So definitely have a good laugh at that. We love Beyond the Boot. We love everybody over there. They love us. Nothing but support, but we're just having a little friendly competition. But speaking of competition, a lot has happened in the F1 world, and that is
lot.
why we are here at almost 10 o'clock, actually 10:03 p.m. on this extremely cold and rainy night. 43 degrees. Feels like 36. How'd you like that weather report?
Oh, there's the weather report. There's a new style for the weather report.
Gotta serve that one up like Dwayne Wade or Jonathan Powell. Regardless, we could talk about WVU basketball, but I'm not going to talk about WVU basketball because this is an F1 podcast. We need to talk about F1. Let's just start talking about F1.
I was about to say, yeah. I mean, China. First thing we have to really talk about because that was
we have to talk about Australia first because we
didn't really didn't recap.
We haven't because that was during break and we didn't have an episode after that, but. That was a really, really fun race to watch. It was
lots of rain.
Lots of rain in Melbourne. So Lando Norris takes the win. Max Verstappen takes P2, like almost a blink of an eye after 0.895 seconds behind Lando.
And then the Mercedes boys behind.
And then George Russell comes in third. And then we go further down the time. Further down the timetable, Kimi Antonelli in fourth, Alexander Albon in P5, in the Williams, Lance Stroll in P6.
You have to praise him now.
I do, and I did on my story. And what's funny is I posted a lot of Lance Stroll praise on my story. _Anderson. Gotta plug that.
Or certified cool person.
Certified cool person. But I posted that on my story, and I did it again after China. And Mark sends me a DM afterward, and he's like, "When will this Lance Stroll praise end?" I'm like, "When he starts, when Fernando Alonso starts outperforming Lance Stroll, that is when the praise will end." Because holy moly, I don't know what's happening to Fernando, but he has DNF'd both races. And it's starting to send a little bit of alarm bells of like, okay, something's happening. For some reason, Lance Stroll is getting points, and he's starting to put the team on his back. And I'm just like, all right, well, guy that I don't really like is actually doing stuff. And I'm like, I can't do anything but praise him. And that's, I'm a big enough man to say, hey, guy that I don't really like very much is doing stuff, and he's doing it well. But behind Lance in Melbourne, Nico Hülkenberg in the kick, and then Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari, Oscar Piastri in the McLaren in P9, and then rounding off the points is Sir Lewis Hamilton in the second Ferrari. I had to get that in there. But
let's talk about those DNFs. Six DNFs total. And most of the rookies go like that.
Mm-hmm. The rain was absolutely, it was pissing rain over there.
You're a poet. You're such a poet.
Poet with words.
Yep.
Liam Lawson goes down, only serving 46 laps. Gabriel Bortoretto goes down with 45 laps down. Fernando Alonso goes down 32 laps down.
Noted rookie Fernando Alonso.
Noted rookie Fernando Alonso. And Carlos Sainz, Jack Doohan, and Isaac Hadjar goes down before the race even starts.
Poor Hadjar.
Was Hadjar the
guy?
Was
on formation lap.
Lap.
No, but he's in the paddock and he's walking by, and Lewis Hamilton's dad.
Hamilton.
His father comes over and actually consoles him a little bit, and it's really hard to see because it's his first race and the conditions were atrocious.
And then you have Helmut Marko saying that he cried a little bit, and that's
and it's like, and
it's pitiful.
It's I don't know. It's just if you're a rookie and you spin out on your first formation lap, you've barely had time to comprehend the emotions that you're feeling. You're in the Red Bull team. It's not Red Bull, but it's Racing Bulls. So you're pretty much there as a rookie.
It's supposed to show that you're here ready to race.
Right.
It's your first race.
It's your first race.
Things.
You're supposed to get your little jitters out, and you've had preseason testing in Bahrain, and then you go and you're doing your formation lap in Australia, and then it's like you spin out, and it's like I personally felt extremely bad for him because it's like it's a rookie. Carlos Sainz does the same thing. Jack Doohan the same thing. On the formation lap, 3 guys go down. It's like
that rain was bad that
It was horrible.
Which it seems like none of the teams were properly prepared for it when they came to Australia. It seems like they didn't have any strategy for the rain.
Right.
Where it's like, oh yeah, we'll toss on the intermediates before the race starts and everything, and that's it. That's like all they were coming in with, really.
But it was the correct choice for tires were the full wets.
No, really, yeah.
For most of the race, it was full wets, and I think we were all watching it together. And actually, if we really want to, we could plug the Discord.
Oh God.
That might be a thing. We were watching it on. We were watching it separately. We weren't illegally
that was
streaming
qualifying.
it. Was that
Yeah,
qualifying?
we did watch
was qualifying.
Okay. But the race we were watching qualifying on on a Discord call, and later on we were watching the race and whatever, and just absolutely atrocious conditions. I
want to
Australia.
add real quick and say that the V8 Supercar Series canceled one of their races the same day F1 race.
Yeah.
Like a couple hours before, they ran 1 or 2 laps and said, nah, screw this, we're not doing it.
Yeah.
And then F1 was out there a couple hours later watching Hadjar wreck on formation lap, doing and Sainz wreck lap 1, and then
Fernando Alonso
chaos.
32 laps later.
FIA money.
Mafia. But yeah, no. After this race, I did have a few notes about like the winners and losers of the first race. And the notes that I had, like the real winners of this race was most likely,
Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Sorry,
Yes,
I have to say Mercedes.
Um,
and not
Williams,
even like just my team. It's Mercedes.
Yeah.
Was so good for this race.
I noted down Williams because while Carlos Sainz went out early, Alexander Albon places kind of high in the points. P5. Like, being alone is insane. And the fact that Carlos Sainz went out literally before the first lap, and Albon goes P5. That's huge for Williams. That's more than Logan Sargent had in his entire career. Shout out. We love Logan Sargent.
Logan, you want to come on the pod? You're always invited.
Oh, my God. If we get a DM from Logan Sargent, I might actually cry.
Yeah.
But no, you could also say the Racing Bulls had a bit of a win here. Yuki Tsunoda didn't place in the points, but P12, not bad for the first race.
He was running great until it was like the same strategy that caught Lewis out on the slick tires. I think Yuki was as well.
Yeah.
But he was running near the top 5 pretty much the whole race.
I mean, and then, we were talking about earlier, Isaac Hadjar goes out before the race even starts, but still, Yuki Tsunoda didn't do too bad, I don't think. Considering the conditions, these like bottom feeder teams, I feel bad calling them bottom feeder teams.
They are bottom feeders nowadays, though.
And it's like,
especially nowadays.
Yeah, and then it's like these teams, considering that did Yuki qualify P5?
Something like that.
Yeah. He qualified P5, which
car.
is an achievement like by itself. That's a win by itself.
Yeah, I had to break the news to my one buddy who bet on some of the qualifying for Australia, and he bet on like Yuki Tsunoda lower than 11.5 or what, or higher than 11.5, and I'm like, I hate to break it to you, but Yuki just went P5, and he was like, bro, there's no way. I'm like, I'm watching it right now.
Also, I'm just saying, I'm killing it in our fantasy league, especially after week 1. I'm just points after points, man.
I was solid in week 1, and then Ferrari happened in Shanghai.
We will get to that in a bit, but
another winner / kind of winner McLaren, because they had both drivers in points.
They literally won the race.
That too. The thing though, he's kind of a winner, kind of a loser in this situation. Oscar Piastri, he spun out, went into the grass, all these different things.
Yeah,
fell out of the points, came back in. He was supposed to be in like the top 5 or top 4.
They were They were running P1, P2.
Yeah.
And they both come off. I don't remember what lap it actually was.
It was one of the last few.
It was one of the last few. They were ahead by a pretty decent margin, and Oscar Piastri just like goes off. They were going on that one turn. It was the one turn that George Russell had his accident last year.
Yeah.
It was that turn. They both go off, and then they pretty much like couldn't recover. Lando Norris managed to recover, but Oscar didn't. But he actually, like, the car wasn't broken, he managed to like go in reverse and use it as a front wheel drive car, which is insane.
You saw that Jeremy Clarkson said if he didn't come onto the farm that he wouldn't have known how to reverse so well. I love that. I was like, yep, totally Jeremy.
But yeah, I think it's a, that's sort of some negative points for Lando, but definitely a little bit of brownie points towards Mr. Piastri.
Especially to get back into points after such
absolutely.
a tough spot. Yeah, that's a great situation. But I'm sorry. I was just thinking about, you were talking about the crash for George Russell, and I just remember it's Lance Stroll's coming. Red flag.
But I mean, speaking of Lance Stroll, like I said, I think Aston Martin's one of the winners here. Sort of. Where did he qualify? He qualified P13 and finished P5. No. Wait. He finished
sixth. Because Antonelli moved up to fourth again.
Yes, you're
after...
right. You're right. Yep. He finished P6, which that's a battle in on itself.
I'll give it to him where he's gotten better in the rain, where like there's years past, for example, the clip of him at Silverstone, I think, where it's like, do you think you can stay out on these tires? Yes. And then crashes out.
Yeah.
And so Interlagos literally a couple months ago when he bends it on the formation line.
That's a good point.
Right.
And so to see that progression is good. It's just at the same time, it's still Lance Stroll where you don't know what he's going to produce this year.
Right.
And I know you're praising him. And he's doing well this year. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I'm not saying he's not, but it's just, when is this facade going to break? Because
that's I'm getting that feeling all too well, because I'm just like, this is going a bit too well, and it's like Fernando Alonso's going to come back 100%. Like, well,
or is Adrian Newey already doing that much of an impact?
I don't know. But yeah, Fernando Alonso might come back later on in the season. If Lance Stroll comes back, you might see Aston Martin, up there in the 100 points, which,
I think they could take fifth in constructors.
Definitely fifth. I think you can definitely make a good push.
Top four is
top four is nowhere close.
Yeah.
I think if Fernando Alonso goes back to the way he was racing maybe two years ago, or maybe even last year, and Lance Stroll continues this amount of...
5 is a lock for them.
5 is almost a lock for them.
Because especially Yuki leaving Racing Bulls, I think that's another thing going in favor of Aston Martin especially.
It would be between Aston and Williams, though. Because
but I think Williams is still... I don't know. Obviously Alonso not getting the points.
We're 2 rounds in.
Yeah, we're 2 rounds in.
It's this overreaction Monday.
Yeah, no, exactly. But
on Tuesday.
On Tuesday. The thing we also just have to look at is that if Ferrari doesn't start performing, that also is a questionable thing, because not jumping ahead, but low points in Australia and then jumping to a double DQ for China.
Yeah.
That's
what kind of what I wanted to jump to. Sort of losers for Australia. It's painted scarlet red. It is absolutely painted red and gold with the prancing horse there, because the rain is coming in Australia, and it's like it's already practically flooding. The wets are the answer here, and you decide to go to slicks.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like it's I don't understand, because it's like, yes, there was a little bit of something saying that the rain could let up, so you want to get a jump on that, but it's so big of a could that it's outweighing every other bit of logic.
I think their prediction with that, though, is they were like, okay, maybe we have enough time that they can race on those slicks, get into a better position before the rain comes back.
They did have some time on the slicks, but
they had time.
They had time, but it wasn't enough.
It was like 5 or 6 laps, something like that.
The issue was them leaving him out a lap too long.
That's the other issue, is that they didn't bring him in quick enough.
Of course, Lando, he just pulled in the pits straight away after he went off. I don't think the McLaren mechanics were necessarily ready, but he had to get in there.
Yeah.
And then Verstappen and a few others come in the next lap. It's when Lewis and I believe Leclerc and Yuki were all out there stranded as the safety car hits, and they're just kind of dead in the water because everybody else is getting intermediates and starting to fly past them, and they're still out there on slicks just struggling, slipping and sliding around.
Yeah, you definitely had a lot of safety cars. You had more safety cars in this race alone than I think all of 2024.
No, I mean we had a lot for 2024. I think if you said 2023, I think you're 100%
Okay,
right.
yeah.
Because 2024 you had won almost every race, like not a safety car, but a yellow flag and like.
Well, I'm saying a full deployed safety car.
Yeah,
like
because we did get a bunch of virtual. I don't know, maybe we'll.
Yeah, you had a lot of VSCs in 2024, but like full blown deployed.
Yeah.
The Aston Martin is on the track. Like you had like what, at least three.
But the thing to think about, it's also Ferrari. They're known for having
Master
bad
strategists.
Yeah, they're horrible at their strategy, and they just I can't say this comes to as a surprise. So I feel like this is something that it's not a shock, but it's also kind of disappointing with the two drivers that you have being such championship level drivers. It's kind of sucks, especially the car doesn't seem like it's living up to what it needs to be this year too. And like, I would like to transition it in China in this situation because you got a sprint win out of Hamilton,
right? And
then still points from Leclerc in fifth in the sprint, and then you jump to qualifying, and then they underperform in qualifying.
Yeah,
with fifth and sixth, where that Hamilton and Leclerc look like the two fastest guys on the grid because of what they did in the sprints, and then all of a sudden it just changes like that. Where I'm like, I don't understand what changed in that time where they can't get above fifth or sixth, and you know they're looking really good, they're driving really well, and I think they were originally fifth and sixth in the race final. And then get DQ'd.
They get DQ'd
because
for separate issues.
Yeah, for separate issues. And was it Albon or who was?
It was
Gasly.
Gasly, thank you. Yeah, he also gets DQ'd. So it's like,
I
don't know. It's you got to look at Ferrari where it's their strategy only hurting them. It's not their drivers fully.
Yeah,
it's strategy in their car, and they need to find fixes for both of those. Otherwise, you're going to be a bad season for Ferrari.
They might be fighting with Aston Martin for fourth.
Really. No, and at this point,
if they keep going on like this, and Fernando Alonso gets his stuff together, you might see some things going in the fourth place race. But it was a great sort of segue into China. Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris get the P1, P2. George Russell getting his third place finish. Max Verstappen behind Mr. Russell. Then you have Ocon in P5, Antonelli in 6th, Albon in 7, Behrman at 8. I want to get back to Ollie Behrman here in a moment. Lance Stroll, P9. What is going on here? Where was this? Literally any time of the year, last year or the year before. I don't know. Anyways.
And then Carlos Sainz,
the smooth operator, gets a point in Williams, which if this was the same thing, if he had stayed at Ferrari last year and he finished the same place, be like, all right, whatever. But he's in a Williams. That is huge. That is absolutely huge.
This Williams, I don't know. They figured out some sort of rhythm with it, and I think it's also a Mercedes engine this year.
It's working.
Because Mercedes engine, shocking to everyone, and shocking to myself as a Mercedes fan, is fast this year.
Yeah.
I was not prepared for it, where it seems like outside of the McLaren, it's producing the most power out.
Yeah.
Like second most power out of the entire grid.
Absolutely.
And you can see it in the Williams, you can see it in the Mercedes, and you can also see it in the Alpines. I think Alpine uses Mercedes.
Alpine's doing their bits.
Yeah.
You know?
And so it's like, you can't, I feel like this is something where you could see a rise of Mercedes trying to compete with McLaren, but I think McLaren's is just a rocket ship. And that's the other thing where it's going to be really tough to see this year, but I definitely think Mercedes could be fighting for second place in the constructors.
Yeah, you could definitely see something going down.
Especially with Antonelli getting points every race.
It's like, honestly, this might be a little bit of an early shot. This might be a little overreaction right now, but I think Kimi Antonelli might be the best rookie out of all the rookies right now. I think he's definitely.
I would agree right now.
Right now, at least, but
end of the season, we'll have to see, because I think Behrman and Hajar, especially with dry conditions for Hajar, I think you could see those three being considered for the best rookie.
Absolutely, and the reason why I want to go back to Mr. Behrman was he absolutely blew past Liam Lawson in that really long right turn in Shanghai, and he did the exact same thing against, I believe it was Pierre Gasly, in that same place a few laps later. he's doing his bits at Haas. Like, what is going on with Oliver Behrman? Like,
Haas is a good team too.
Yeah, we knew that Ollie Behrman was good. He had his first, F1 exposure in Saudi Arabia last year in the Ferrari in the seat. Yeah,
and he looked nice in that Ferrari.
I
think he got sixth.
Something 6th or 7th, something like that.
Sixth or seventh, one of the two.
And he did really, really well in the Ferrari. He's doing as good in a Haas.
Mm-hmm.
And he's blowing past a Red Bull, of which I want to go back to Red Bull here in a moment.
I was wrong on my take. I will add from week one. My blindness.
Blind faith.
But Ollie Behrman, I don't know. You might see him up there in the points. I don't know. This year is extremely interesting because it's not, it's not just, all right, it's not Max Verstappen or Lando Norris or Lewis Hamilton. It's like, you might see a lot of new names in the hat.
George Russell. I'm waiting for Kimi's first podium because at this point, if he gets a good paced race,
he's
going to look great.
He might get up there. Throwing, like I said, Kimi Antonelli in the mix, Oliver Behrman in the list, Lance Stroll in the mix. That might be a bit of an overreaction for you there in a bit, but let me be delusional.
Hey, hold on. Didn't he just admit to being delusional or he was blinded by faith for Red Bull? Yeah. I think you need to calm down in your faith in Lance Stroll. Let's be real here, Andrew. I can go through the amount of episodes with you screaming about Lance Stroll.
He scored more points in the past 2 races than he has in the past 7 years, all right? I don't even know if that's
that's definitely not true.
It's probably not true, but regardless.
Probably like 2 years. I'll give you 2 years.
Yeah, my guy has like what? 2 he's got he went P5 last P6 so 8 9. He's got 10 points right now, which is huge for race 2.
Yeah.
But going back
also
to
real quick, sorry, just before we hop into Red Bull.
Yeah.
The one team we need to talk about as they clearly need to make that switch to Audi as fast as possible is Kick Sauber, because I think
they're trying to do a Haas 2021. I mean, it's the last season of the current regulations.
What do you think they're? But at the same time, the money into the 2026. I guess you've already been developing.
We don't know about that.
What?
There is a little bit of a development in the FIA regulations.
Explain.
I have heard. These are rumors. Now, mind you, I want to express that these are in fact rumors.
Mm-hmm.
And there is almost zero official statement.
Yeah.
But the FIA has said that they are considering going back to the V10s.
V10s, but in the same body of the car?
So
the 2026 regulation size car with a V10 in it?
Something along those lines. I just know that the V10 is going to be involved in some way.
That would be so good, especially with Cadillac coming in.
Now, here is what the FIA has said about that. They're thinking either go into next year and extend the contract extend the regulations that they had from this year to 2028, and then that allows time for teams to go and develop their cars for the V10s, or they go into 2026 with the new regulations and then push the V10s back a few years. But I think
you have to do that because there's how many teams one thing, Audi and Cadillac are only developing for the 2026 regulations.
Yes.
They've been preparing for that for the last year plus. That would screw over that team.
It'd be too much. It'd be too short notice.
Yeah, and then on top of it, you have Aston Martin with Adrian Newey focusing on the 2026 regulations. You have probably Red Bull. You have all the teams focusing on that 2026 regulation already. I think they would push back those V10s, and I imagine you probably see that by 2030.
Yeah. I mean, to anyone who have seen the phenomenal film Inglourious Bastards, rumors are just rumors, but they all sprint from something of a truth. We don't know exactly what it is. Like I said, that's rumors, but yeah. The engines in the car nowadays, I don't know what I interrupted there, but regardless,
I'm not sure. But I mean, we were talking about sandbagging for Kick Sauber into 2026 regulations.
Yes, that's true. But with these lower teams, like Kick Sauber, Haas, I don't think Haas is a car issue.
No, Haas isn't a car issue at all. I think they're doing fine. I think they just need to find their rhythm. I think they need to find their pace. And I think it's just Ollie Behrman getting used to a new car. I think it's Ocon getting used to a new car. It just also different engineers, all these different things. And I think it's just them getting ready and used to it. And sure, they had the off season, but I think it's just them getting fully used to it.
But I think we've pretty much covered everything. We flew through that. That was 30 minutes, almost on the dot. And
we could talk about China's disqualifications as well.
Yeah, that's true. So
I'll go into Lewis Hamilton if you want.
Yeah. So out of all the, there was 4 DNFs, or no, there was 1 DNF technically. That was Fernando Alonso on P4 on lap 4, but there were 4 drivers that did not score points because of some sort of either
3
DNF
DQs.
or there were 3 DQs. Yes, there were 3 Dairy Queens. There was both Ferraris and Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton, and then Pierre Gasly in the Alpine Renault gets disqualified. But
do you mind if I go in on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go on.
No. Sorry, I'm not trying to make that sound mean, but Lewis Hamilton. First and foremost, he's the only one of the of the 3. He's the one that didn't have the same type of disqualification reason. He, for anyone that doesn't fully know too much about F1, or at this point, hopefully you do. Under the cars, for all the F1 cars, are a wooden plank. It goes back to I think the 70s or 60s or 70s, where they would put they would put the simple wooden plank, and it would show if your car was too low, because they were having issues with cars that were vacuuming themselves to the
pretty much sucking themselves.
Literally using vacuums.
Yeah,
and so they made a regulation using the wooden planks to make sure your car wasn't too low. Lewis Hamilton's comes in, I think it was 0.5 millimeters,
something
too thin.
Like a half a millimeter or a full millimeter too low.
For anyone at home, pull out your state ID or your student ID. That is the width that it was too small, or whittled down too much too. That is the regulation to the point. I appreciate them going in on the regulation, but that is insane that a ID's width was able to do that.
And I mean, it's even more insane the fact that they can actually pinpoint that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know the FIA doesn't look at every single car after every race, because that would take way too long. I know they.
But both Ferraris also being checked is. I think they.
It'd be par for the course for the FIA at this point.
Yeah, it's just it's interesting.
There's so much
least.
hypocrisy in that organization. Mm-hmm. It's at this point, it's pretty much just. They say it's random, but I would not be shocked in the slightest if something came out saying, the reason why that they look
there's
through
certain drivers.
There's certain drivers that they want to, I don't want to say that they want to screw over, or it's like they have some sort of suspicions over. It's not exactly random. I'll be like, all right, that's not news to me.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be huge news, considering that's a really big scandal. But regardless, I don't think any F1 fan would be sort of surprised by that. But regardless, Lewis Hamilton gets disqualified because of a millimeter, and that sounds
less than a millimeter.
Yeah, less than a millimeter.
Half a millimeter. Width.
It sounds a lot like
whittled down from.
It sounds a lot like Mr. James Hunt in the 1974
something like that.
Championship.
74, 72, whichever one of the two.
It was in the 70s.
Yeah. But then Charles Leclerc and Pierre Gasly both get DQ'd for their cars being underweight.
Yes.
I don't know the exact reason exact details of Gasly's, but probably there was too little of fuel, or no, they empty out the fuel tanks to weigh the car, so there must have been something on the tires,
tire wear,
tire wear,
because they both went long.
Which then the same with Leclerc, but Leclerc was a little different, where he lost pieces of his wing in the very early parts of the race, and the FIA actually went, okay, hold on. We realize that you lost pieces of your wing, so you're already going to be underweight. You guys can put a new front wing on.
Yeah.
And so they put the new front wing on, take all of the fuel out, everything like that, still underweight.
Yeah.
But it's by 1 kilogram, which in the world of F1 is like by the country mile. Like you were overweight way too much already with 1 kilogram. And correct me if I'm wrong, if somebody could check that.
Yeah.
If it was a kilogram.
Yes, it was a kilogram.
It was a kilogram.
Yeah, I have
which is huge in the race, but in the same time, it's like, it has to be a rule that they have to follow strictly, and it was just because tire wear. If he didn't ride on his tires for so long, I think Ferrari and would have been fine.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, I have the article pulled up here. 2 of the 3 exclusions from the results of the Grand Prix were for being 1 kilogram below the 800 kilogram minimum weight limit at the end of the race once the fuel had been drained from the cars.
Mm-hmm.
That was one. And then the Lewis Hamilton incident, the exclusion of Hamilton's Ferrari was for the underbody plank being 0.1 millimeters below the minimum permitted 9 millimeters.
0.1. Sorry, not 0.5. 0.1.
That's a tenth of a millimeter. It's insane. And, first of all, I mean, props to the person that was like, hey, that is 0.1 millimeters too low. I mean, like, first of all, hats off to you, man. That is a millimeter.
Yeah.
Not even a millimeter.
A tenth of a
millimeter that you figured out. Like, that's hats off to you, man. But then second of all, 1 kilogram is insane in the world of F1 because it's like weight is so big,
so pivotal.
It's so so like on Ferrari actually, up until last year I believe, the logo on the nose of the front wing was an actual like iron emblem. So like it was an actual like thing that they placed on top of it. Until recently, that has been changed to a sticker because the weight is so pivotal.
I mean, but hold on. We can't talk about weight being pivotal in this sense because Ferrari still uses red paint, which is they've already seen is the heaviest paint on the grid. And they go, you know what? We're going to add so much red paint. We're going to cover the entire car. Whereas like McLaren, we have papaya on there, sure. And like we accept our papaya background. No, Ferrari goes, we will only be red. So we must stay red.
It is Ferrari.
It is Ferrari.
You can't say that. Oh, you can't say that. Why not? It's a Ferrari. I'm not going to finish the rest of that.
I like that quote, though.
If anyone has seen the movie Rush, great movie. You know exactly what scene I'm talking about. But yeah, big news out of the very end of the Chinese Grand Prix, I should say, not the Shanghai Grand Prix. But I think even bigger news coming out earlier today, I believe, officially. Trey, do you want to break this one? Or?
Yeah, Trey, you break it.
We're
not breaking it.
Just listened to it. To us in November, December, we wouldn't had to have made this decision. But after 2 dreadful races, Liam Lawson has been sacked by Red Bull. And
Finally.
Yuki Tsunoda, after 4 years of waiting in the wings at AlphaTauri and Visa Cash App Racing Bulls, you have to say the whole name because that's what they said on the Netflix show.
Yeah.
Yuki has a chance in a Red Bull.
As he should have for the first 2 races.
Yes. Like we said last winter when the season was ending, we said they should hire Yuki and put Colapinto or Lawson in the second Racing Bulls car.
You know what we said also at the same time?
Liam Lawson and
We
Colapinto in the Racing Bulls.
I'm going to say what I know the quote I said.
Yeah.
I said, the reason Liam Lawson's going to be picked is because Red Bull is racist. And I'm standing by that one.
Helmut Marko.
Helmut Marko.
I mean, hey.
We've seen Helmut Marko is a, pardon my
As
French.
a Red Bull fan and also a Racing Bulls fan, we as in maybe just me, but we do not claim Helmut Marko.
Are we going to put a expletive on this real quick?
Sure, yeah.
All right, there's going to be swearing here in a moment.
No, if we're doing that one, he's a fucking piece of shit.
Whoa!
I hate
Well
Helmut
said,
Marko
well said.
so much, especially the stuff he did with Hadjar. Oh my god!
Whoa!
He's a dickhead for that. He is. If we're putting the advisory on it, he can hear it. The old man can hear it. Okay, I don't care.
Jeez, all right.
And so, yeah, I actually so strongly dislike Helmut. Like, I don't like Christian Horner. But my hate for Helmut Marko is beyond compare. He's just an asshole. Is there anything good about Helmut Marko that anyone can say? No. They gave him a job. That's about it.
Christian Horner is married to a Spice Girl. Helmut
tried to
Marko is
cheat
just
on
an
her.
old geezer.
Good Lord. Yeah, so Yuki Tsunoda takes over the
Pit to podium, baby.
It's so back, baby. Oh my god, I missed the absolute rush of Pit to Podium. But yeah, so Yuki Tsunoda gets that second driver's seat at Red Bull, and
Well
I actually
deserved. Yuki
definitely
kicks some
well
ass.
deserves. But actually, I have a little bit of a hot take about that one.
Ooh.
I think the results will be the same.
No, I don't.
I don't
No,
think-
I
here's
think
why.
Yuki will.
And here's why.
Like if Yuki ends out of the points, it's by like a place or two.
And here's why. The car. I think the car is so far gone. I think Max flowers for Algernon that entire team. And if you understand that reference, I love you for it. I think Max is just way too good for that team. And Red Bull has said, well, Max is performing. We don't have to change anything because Max is just that good.
Mm-hmm.
If you put literally anyone in that second Red Bull seat, that car is so hard to drive. That car is so unforgiving to drive.
That's what I was going to say as well, because while I am stoked for Yuki that he finally gets the chance to be in the Red Bull, that if Max Verstappen, who is one of at least the top 2 current best drivers in terms of pure talent, I'm not talking about wins and statistics and all that, but just pure talent. If he is saying this car is very hard to drive,
it's hard to drive.
You know that you've messed up somewhere along the lines.
Now, if Yuki goes on and finishes top 5, maybe on the podium, I will take my statement back. I will take my statement back in a heartbeat, okay? But right now, at the current moment, I know that car is so hard to drive. I don't think there's going to be much improvement.
I think
I think it's going to be a good challenge.
I think Yuki Tsunoda would be more up to the challenge of
Absolutely.
a Red Bull than Liam Lawson, because I think his driving style will fit a Red Bull better because he's much more aggressive.
I agree. I was actually watching a video earlier on today about the Red Bull car and the RB21. That car is so punishing. Like, you play any rage game, you know, it's like you have to make absolute accurate things at you have to be locked in the entire time, and it punishes you so hard when you make one little mistake, and that's exactly what the RB21 actually is. And I think there is no one on the grid that is up for that challenge more than Yuki Tsunoda. I think he's gonna give it his best, and right now I'm sort of Debbie Downer on that because of how bad the number 2 spot has been at Red Bull for the past however many years. Just because Max Verstappen is that good. They haven't they haven't done anything with that car because Max has been that good.
I mean, the other thing you look at it where it's like 2023, Checo was able to drive the car. He won a race in that Red Bull. It just, I think as the years go on and on, they're developing that car for Max, and once Max goes, I don't like the team anymore.
Right.
That car is going to.
And now Newey's gone too. That was another huge blow to them.
Everything is going to hurt Red Bull.
The biggest genius in F1 history in terms of making cars, and now he's over at Aston going to cook something up for an Alonso V10 championship in 2028 or something crazy.
If he hasn't retired,
dude, if he returns back to the V10,
Alonso will be racing until he's like 65. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he will be the oldest driver ever.
Yeah,
I guarantee that one now.
Like not even in F1, but in general, like in all of motorsporting history, he's got to be up there.
He's going to Gordie Howitt.
Oh my God,
he leaves for 20 years and then comes back at 80.
No, he's gonna LeBron James it. He's gonna be old enough to drive with his kid.
God.
I mean, Morgan Shepherd was still racing NASCAR at almost 80 years old though, so he's got a long way to go.
Yeah. But no, the one thing I also look at this situation with look forward from this situation is a rivalry, because there's going to be a huge rivalry between Liam Lawson and Yuki Tsunoda now, I feel like. Because, like, for example, I got this quote pulled up. Yuki Tsunoda was asked how would he feel if he was asked to replace Liam in the Red Bull and to take the place, and would he be ready? Yuki responded with he'd be 100% ready for a switch to the Red Bull. Liam Lawson was told that quote, and his response was, he can say whatever he wants. I've raced him for years, raced him in the junior categories, and beat him.
Yeah.
I think they're supposed to be...
why Yuki went through F2 and got up to F1 before Liam himself was in F2?
Most likely.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
A mic drop. Ooh. Yeah, don't break the mics. Also, I just want to bring up, you know how I said Fernando Alonso would be around to race with his kid?
Yeah.
He does not have any children, and here is the quote.
Does he have a wife?
I don't know, but his priorities.
Considering they linked him to Taylor Swift 2 years ago, I
Oh
want to
my
guess
God.
and say no.
I don't think no. So the quote
forgot
here.
about that.
So it says here, no. Formula One driver Fernando Alonso does not have any children. Here's the quote: "Being dedicated to Formula One meant no friends, no family. So that man is locked in on F1.
I mean, hey,
But there's still time.
hey,
He
think
could race with his son when he's like 67.
Mm-hmm. But think about Fernando. Fernando's quote to Michael Schumacher. He has a wife and 2 kids at home. I knew he was going to break.
Yeah.
I mean, that man is just dead.
Dude, my
his
guy-
wife is the sport of motorsport.
Yes. you think Max Verstappen is like lives and breathes motorsport? Nah. Fernando Alonso lives in
He is the game. He is.
Time to play the game. I looked to my right and I have my water bottle here and just almost my muscle memory. Beyond the Mat, what a great podcast! I almost did
bring us on Beyond the Mat. You know, I think
good
we would be a
Lord.
great.
I love.
Could you imagine a Pit to Podium Beyond the Boot crossover episode? That would be insane.
I think we need to bring them on and have a debate episode of which sport is better, soccer or
no who
F1.
Like there's instances of F1 drivers going into soccer.
Yeah.
So like just having an episode about F1 drivers in soccer. I'm gonna tell Nico about that tomorrow morning. He's gonna love that.
Any soccer
idea.
players into F1 cars? Have we ever seen any of that? Like,
I don't know.
I think we just have to each have an episode dedicated to each other's sports.
I mean, there was. I remember during the pandemic when they had like the F1 esport races, whatever you want to call them.
Oh
on
yeah.
TV. One of there was some soccer play. I'm not great with soccer. Breaking news, even though I was the men's soccer reporter from Out in Your Playbook, but there was a soccer player who was actually driving for Racing Point in those little exhibition races they did. So
I think that was the happiest
it was
I think
a virtual
Max
world,
could have
but-
been in that situation too.
Yeah.
Like just having the virtual races, he doesn't have to leave his house. He gets to play
No.
virtual racing as
if
much
he
as
wins
he
another
wants.
championship, he's
I
just
think
going
he's
to be an
done.
iRacer
Yeah.
for the rest of his
Yeah.
life.
Or he's gonna go win Le Mans. I think he's gonna go for the Triple Crown.
Or he might just say screw it and go to like motocross, or like
Max Verstappen goes to the World of Outlaws and runs dirt cars.
I would
or
pay
you know
to
what?
watch that because he would fit right in with them.
Or you know what? Screw everything. He goes to Monster Jam.
He just goes for every championship in motorsport after he retires F1.
If there is a motor and a chassis, that man wants one.
NHRA Top Fuel Drag Racing. Max Verstappen versus John Ford.
Sidecar racing. Have you seen those
Vespa
before?
racing.
Have you seen the sidecar
Yes,
racing?
I
It's
have.
crazy. Or he gets onto the scooter racing. Have you seen
Oh
those?
my
Are so
God.
good.
No, have you seen the clip of the London double-decker bus racing? They're like going around Silverstone, and it's like it's incredible. But
He gets into plane racing, boat racing. He gets every championship that has a
submarine
motor.
racing.
Everything that has a motor,
And
he's racing it.
He like I don't know.
He turns to BMX racing where he is the motor.
You can tell it is almost 11 o'clock at night because we're just spitting out things.
You know,
I don't even know
we
what
need
we're talking
Sam.
thoughts,
about.
head empty.
There's sometimes we need Sam to keep us on a
Yes,
good path.
we do. Yes, we do. We miss Sam Nichols so bad.
Sam, if you're listening,
we love
we
you.
miss you. We miss you.
We miss you so bad. But yeah, Fernando Alonso, he's married to F1. That is his girlfriend.
Is that the point of the episode?
Max Verstappen has a wife and a kid, all right? Fernando Alonso is better than Max Verstappen because he is dedicating his life. My man is dedicating his life to Formula One. That's what we're ending the episode on.
No.
now.
Hold on.
No, we're not. All right. Jesus.
Hold on, pause it.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break to compose ourselves. All right, we'll be back in a second.
Welcome back to
All right.
the Pit to Podium podcast.
Welcome back.
Sorry, we needed a break.
We needed to compose ourselves because, like, for the past like maybe five minutes, we were just trying to like listen to what the hell happened about 5 minutes ago.
And stop laughing, and also stop our. You guys should be really glad, but shout out to Beyond the Mat. We were doing our Stone Cold impressions, and
Yes, we were.
it got out of hand for a little bit.
Because it went from Stone Cold to Stone Toad, and then
Just a minute straight of laughter.
it was horrible.
Least serious podcast.
Oh yeah, But hey, upcoming race, Japan,
Yeah,
round 3.
Let's actually do picks this time.
Yeah,
Because we have forgotten to do them for the past 2 races.
Hey, well, China was not
Loose proof.
our fault.
No, China was not our fault. That was the fact that we were
had
on
spring break.
But regardless,
Or you guys had spring break. I have permanent break right now.
yeah, you. It's just called employment.
No.
Oh boy.
Unemployment.
Oh boy.
Hopefully
Sorry,
I get them checks. Donald Trump, come on, come through.
All right, so Japan is the next stop for the Formula One circus. The Figure 8 Suzuka takes place in about 8 days, 23 hours, and 35 minutes at the current moment. I don't know when this is going to get uploaded. It probably will get uploaded maybe either tomorrow or the day after. I don't know.
The good news, this is like one of the last late races for us in the States.
So this is the only one that is probably going to be extremely painful because Japan is at the very, very start of the day in the world. They're like extremely early, so
it starts at 1 a.m., so it's not too bad.
It's actually, you know what? That's actually not too bad.
It's a lot better than the Chinese Grand Prix.
Yeah, the 3 a.m. start was not great, but 1 a.m. is actually not too bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be watching that live.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah, we can definitely make that happen.
I mean, that's the Australian Grand Prix, and
yeah,
I think
yeah,
we were all watching that one live.
It's the same thing as that, and probably the same thing as the Vegas Grand Prix there.
No, Vegas has moved down to 11 p.m. this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at that.
We in the States get lucky this year.
Hey, look at that. The FIA.
Or is that 11 p.m. local time for them?
Might be local.
Best
time.
we can do is 4 a.m.
Yeah, no. First year they really go. I don't know if America's watching enough. We're gonna just put it at 3 a.m.
We're gonna have the biggest American race and have it be unaccessible.
I remember staying up and watching half of it and then being like,
biggest.
I mean, like probably the most expensive one.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That's actually not too bad. So
fantastic. Wait, that means they're starting at 9 o'clock at night?
I mean, that's not.
Or no,
that's not horrible.
Is it 9 o'clock? Yeah, it'd
11,
be
10, 9
o'clock.
It'd be 8.
8?
Because it's 3 hours, right?
I thought they were
3 hours back.
I believe Vegas is Pacific time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait. Yeah.
It might be
you're
Mountain
right.
Time
You're right.
It might be Mountain Time, but I would guess.
Do we need to go to another break and figure this out?
No. We don't. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Regardless, looking at Suzuka.
Very fun course to watch.
Very fun course to watch. It's the only race, or the only course that actually overlaps over itself. The only Figure 8 race.
Mm-hmm.
So that race will be fun to watch. Since Sam is usually the one that takes down our notes.
I'll write it down.
Oh, you'll write it down? Okay, I got you.
And
okay.
we'll get Sam's predictions later. He will be part of this still. We're going for points this year still.
We're going for points. Sam was our champion last year. Going from 0 to hero and taking me out in the final quiz section of that championship. That was an extremely fun episode. And honestly, if anyone wants to give us any pointers or any feedback of what the first episode was,
hit us up in the DMs in our Instagram.
Yeah, if you want to see more quizzes, I am more than happy. Or even
I might bring some quizzes in.
Any of you want to bring a quiz, I'd be more than happy to.
I suggested one before that we might have to revisit.
Yeah,
talk about later.
We might just have to have a bit of a break later on in the season and do another top 5 drivers.
Top
again.
5 worst drivers.
Top 5, yes, absolutely. We had top 5 best drivers last year, and then we're gonna have top 5 worst drivers this year. And Nikita Mazepin will probably be number 1 out of all 4 of us, regardless. No. But looking at Suzuka, that will be on the 4th of April to the 6th of April, that Grand Prix weekend. That weekend, definitely tune in to U92 The Moose for West Virginia playing Utah in baseball here in Morgantown, West Virginia. I will be on the call with that one, with Nico Credo and Cody Burton. I will be for the Saturday and Sunday games. Quinn Roby will be on the Friday game. I will be out of town for that game, but I will be back for that one, or for those 2 games on Saturday and Sunday. But predictions. I've filled enough dead air to get something set up, and let's do this.
Right.
Trey, do you want to start?
I'll go first.
All right, so let's do qualifying on pole, and then the podium. Yes, because that's what we usually do. And then if you want to throw out an erroneous thing, we'll put a double times multiplier on it. I don't know. It's
qualifying on pole position. Lando Norris.
I
know
okay.
that's such a
It's
huge reach. I'm aware.
It's not hard, but that's going to be my pick too, for Mr. Norris to be the
Let me get that down for you guys.
Yeah.
I kind
P1
of feel similar.
Winning the race. He scored his first ever podium at the Japanese Grand Prix, a race I stayed up and watched 2 years ago after a great day of college football, assuming WVU won that day. Oscar Piastri will win the Japanese Grand Prix and go back to back.
Really?
Back to back.
I'm going to figure this out. You said
Toaster Pastry wins.
Toaster
in Suzuka.
Pastry.
Piastri. Then who's your
P2,
P2?
I'm going to go not a McLaren 1-2. I'm going to go Max Verstappen Racing, sponsored by Red Bull and Oracle. Somehow, some way, Max pulls a P2 out of his rear end.
Max 2.
And
what is your P3?
Lando Norris.
Lando Norris. That's fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know. McLaren, I thought they would be the best car, which I think we all did. And now that the Ferrari is not quite the level we thought they would be, McLaren might just start running away with this thing, as sad as it seems, because we were all excited. Look, the Red Bull domination's over. Maybe we're going to have some competition. And it's just like before when the Mercedes domination was ended by Red Bull, and now the Red Bull domination has been ended by McLaren, I guess. So that's my predictions. Norris wins pole, but slips to P3 during the race. Piastri wins. Verstappen somehow P2.
All right.
So I did a little bit of looking. Last year, the Japanese Grand Prix was April 7th of 2024. So that means that April 6th would have been that college football slate. And
this was 23.
This
would have been, what year was it? 23.
Oh,
Piastri's first podium. Yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
23.
Yeah, college football in April. Woo.
Could you imagine?
That would be interesting.
That'd be insane. Rich Rod, please save our program.
I would completely watch
right.
Eastern Michigan versus Northern Illinois
just to get the hit.
On a random April night. I don't care.
But Andrew, your prediction.
My prediction, yes. I'm gonna go not out on a limb.
You said Lando on pole.
I said Lando on pole, but he's gonna finish third.
Okay, so
he doesn't fall far. He doesn't fall far from the tree. I'm gonna say George Russell takes P2. He's gonna jump up, and then I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna say Kimi Antonelli gets his first win.
Kimi Antonelli gets.
Why not?
Wow, that's
Why not? Why not? He's done
a 1-2.
A 1-2 for Mercedes. In that order. You know what? I might say this. At this point,
what a day!
He's putting Lance Stroll
at this point, if Lance Stroll can actually finish in the points over Fernando Alonso, Kimi Antonelli can get his first win. At this point, I'm throwing everything at the board. I don't know what's going on.
I am also going to go with McLaren for my prediction for pole, but not Lando Norris.
Ooh.
I think it's going to be Piastri. I feel like he's been going faster most of the time. Just kind of gut feeling watching him race. I feel like he, on a dry, easy condition, I think he's going to pull out the win in Japan. My P1, though, is going to stick with Oscar.
Yeah.
I think he's going to hold on to the race. I think we'll see that. I think we're going to get a Lando, or no. Actually, no. I'm gonna play a fun game. Leclerc as P2.
Okay.
I think I think Leclerc's going to be pissed off, and he's just going to put in a great race.
Yeah, there you go.
And then P3, I'm going to put Kimi.
There you go.
I think Kimi is going to he's finding his
3
rhythm.
3 teams and 3 podium spots. I like it.
Yeah, I think it could be interesting. And then we'll get Sam's, and then we'll read it off. It's not like we're going to cheat anytime.
No.
There's no reason for us to cheat. I want the points.
I mean, true. But regardless, what even episode is this? I said episode 17.
It should be 17.
At the beginning
Or
of
should
the
be
episode.
Real quick, as we research this, I did research the college football stuff from the 2023 Japanese Grand Prix. I knew I was here staying for a football game. And in fact, right before the Japanese Grand Prix-ish, West Virginia beat Texas Tech in a game where we injured their quarterback. And our quarterback was also injured. Football.
Wait,
Oh, wait,
is that,
what was it?
Who was that?
That was Nico Marchiol starting because Double G got hurt early in the season. And we injured Tyler Shuck like second drive of the game. Yes, 2023 season.
So then that would have been JT Daniels.
Yeah, that's actually
No, 22 was JT Daniels.
That's still Daggy.
21 was Daggy. 22 was JT. 23 was Double G.
Oh, because
23 was our
Nico,
glorious.
last year would have been Garrett, and then the year before would have been.
Well, that's what I said. Nico was filling in for Garrett because Garrett got hurt.
This is an F1 podcast
early in the
right
pit
here.
game.
It is 11:04.
WVU podcast.
Yeah, you know, WVU
I just
F1
wanted
podcast.
to clarify.
Yeah, hey,
and we did win that day.
WVU Formula SAE podcast. There you go. There's your.
Boom, boom, boom.
Hey, and then also shout out to the show, Golden Quill nominated.
Podcast.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Golden Quill nominated. The only episode that I am not a part of. It got nominated for an award.
Hey, we love you, Andrew. Promise. Hey, you're still credited probably.
His name's on there.
Most likely.
Most likely, you should be.
But yeah, so we can definitely say that this is an award-nominated show.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Not this episode.
No,
not this episode.
Absolutely not.
We'll get him next year, though.
We'll get him next year. But yeah, so this has been episode.
Wait, real quick.
Episode something.
Before we end, if we can go to a serious note, I talked about this earlier with you guys separately, and before we close, we're going on a little bit of a more serious tone for this because the F1 community lost a legend recently.
Yes.
Eddie Jordan passed away at the age of 76 years old.
Yeah.
He was in a fight with cancer, but unfortunately succumbed to it. And I just wanted to give a brief synopsis of Eddie and his journey through F1 for those who might not be so familiar. He is, of course, best known for his time owning the Jordan F1 team from 1991 to 2005. They debuted with some success. They were always kind of a midfield team. When the team debuted, they had Andrea De Cesaris and Bertrand Gachot as their drivers. They finished 5th in Constructors their first season, which is pretty good for a brand new team and one that didn't have a very high budget. They also had some unknown prospect named Michael Schumacher debut for them midway through the season because Gachot thought it would be a good idea to assault a taxi driver. That's a story for another time. But anyway, moving on, they were a midfield team moving around. They struggled some years but got better. It was really at the end of the 90s when Eddie's team hit their stride. They hired former world champion Damon Hill, and in a very famous race, the 1998 Belgian Grand Prix, where half the field wiped themselves out off the start because it was super wet, Damon took the first ever win for Jordan in the wet. Also a race where Schumacher took himself and I believe David Coulthard out. 1999 was the team's best season. Heinz-Harald Frentzen came over from Williams. They won twice. They got 3rd in the Constructors' Championship, so they were moving up. This was while they had those famous yellow and black Benson and Hedges liveries. Please, Aston Martin, if you're listening, do a throwback to them this year. But unfortunately, during the early 2000s, the team started to decline a little bit. They got their last win in 2003 with Giancarlo Fisichella in Brazil. And in the 2005 season, Jordan ended up selling his team to the Midland Group. They did get one podium in their final season, the infamous United States Grand Prix, which we talked about a little bit during our quiz last episode with the Michelin drivers pulling out due to the tire conditions. Thiago Monteiro got Jordan their last podium, and then the team sold to Midland, and then a year later the team sold to Spiker, and then a year later the team sold to Vijay Malaya and Force India, and then 10 years later it went into administration and Lawrence Stroll bought the team, and now they're Aston Martin because I love how Formula One works. But I have the stats pulled up. Jordan, in their time as an F1 team with, of course, the late, great Eddie Jordan as their team owner and boss, 4 race wins, 19 podiums, 2 pole positions in 250 starts, and their time spanned from the first round of 1991 in Phoenix, Arizona, because that was a thing, to their final race in Shanghai in 2005. And they had quite the list of drivers. Of course, not super legendary, but throughout their history, both Schumachers, Michael and Ralph, Heinz-Harald Frentzen, Jean Alesi, Rubens Barrichello, Eddie Irvine, Damon Hill, Nick Heidfeld, Martin Brundle, Jarno Trulli, Giancarlo Fisichella, several key players who have either won races with other teams, scored podiums, had successful careers. So, thank you, Eddie Jordan, for your contributions to the racing world and to Formula One on behalf of everyone who hosts and listens to Pit to Podium. Rest in peace, Eddie. You will be missed, and thank you.
Yeah. I just want to say that like for 75% of that speech, that was all off the dome for Mr. Trace Dyer.
Yeah.
What great, honestly, thanks, Eddie.
Yeah.
I mean, as a Aston Martin fan through and through, he means at least a little bit to me. Because I mean, he was the one that founded Jordan, and Jordan eventually became Aston Martin. So he put the money down, and hopefully we're gonna bring the torch a little bit to new heights. And yeah, go on.
It's just you also have his name is synonymous with F1 now at this point, where he brought drivers like Michael Schumacher. You have Martin Brundle, who is now so highly involved with F1 that people nowadays only know F1 with Martin Brundle. So
right.
I mean,
and not just that, but being an independent owner. Of course, this was when Williams was at their peak, but other than that, this is when some of the independently owned teams were starting to struggle. And you've had Ferrari and McLaren, and you look at all the other automotive giants who've owned the teams, or even companies like Red Bull. And Jordan was one of those guys who just stuck with it for a long time. His team. It wasn't some company telling him what to do. It was Eddie Jordan's operation, and he led it. And they, like I said, 1999, third in constructors as sort of independent team. That is pretty impressive.
Absolutely, it's definitely impressive.
And you just have to, at this point nowadays, is just say thank you.
Yeah, of course.
It's just thank you, Eddie.
Yeah, I am always under the belief that we should always pay homage and pay respects, whether people are retiring, people have passed on and passed away, unfortunately. But I just wanted to say that. I know some of the listeners may not be familiar with Eddie Jordan, but I encourage you to look up some of the history of the Jordan F1 team and what Eddie meant to racing. And
what he still means.
Yes, what he still means, because it is important that we honor all of the members of our community, big or small, and we thank him for all of his contributions, and I'm sure he affected a ton of people throughout his history.
Yeah, of course.
And like you said, just go do research, but a great way of also just seeing this and understanding what his impact was. ESPN did a wonderful piece about Eddie for the pre-race show for China. If you need an easier way to understand it, digest it and understand it and what his impact was, go watch that piece. Yeah. And you can see Martin Brundle's moved by every second of that video. So it truly tells the story of a legend in F1 and someone that needs to be spoken more about.
Yeah, no, of course. And, it's hard to speak about something that's sort of unspeakable, because this man Eddie Jordan does more things than you can actually describe. It's hard to describe something that is actually undescribable, and that is exactly what Eddie Jordan did. He set a foundation for an entire F1 team who has worn many masks. He's worn many different jerseys, worn many different colors. Now is in the racing green. As much as I want to clown on, Lance Stroll or whatever, or Lawrence Stroll, or even Fernando Alonso at times, the Aston Martin team is the Jordan, skeleton. And, I actually didn't know that Jordan, I think it was more related to, I thought Aston Martin was more related to the Jaguar name. But
Jaguar was Red Bull, so I could see that a little bit of the confusion, but yes.
But the
Jordan laid the foundation for what today is Aston Martin.
Of course, and I'm actually finding it difficult to find the words here, because the more and more I think about it, the more and more I think about this man is actually low key kind of more important than I thought he actually was. Yeah, high key important. I did not think he was important because I knew the name, I knew whatever, but at least to me, it means a little bit more than I thought. that speech you did, Trey, was actually incredible.
Wonderful.
Like,
Another round of applause.
yeah, absolutely.
But on that note,
but
I think we're gonna wrap it up.
Absolutely.
This has been the U92 podcast. You can find this podcast anywhere you listen, whether that be Spotify, Apple Music. We're not YouTube.
No, not YouTube. Yeah,
Not yet. But
Yes.
we'll figure it out. Go follow the Instagram at
Yes.
Pit the number 2 Podium _IG.
Yep.
_podcast.
_podcast. Sorry.
Yes.
_podcast. Give us a follow. Send us some DMs. We'd love to hear from anybody listening. And
do we want to officially open the Discord?
We'll if we open the Discord, you'll see the link in our Instagram,
Yes.
and you can join from there. And we'll probably be having discussions either for qualifying or some races. So keep an eye out, everyone, if you're wanted to join up with that.
Absolutely.
But let's give some shout outs to other podcasts like Beyond the Mat,
Beyond the Boot. Great, much.
PRT Boys.
Yep, the PRT Boys.
MSI.
MSI that the PRT Boys beat in the tournament, but stirring the pot as well.
Stirring the pot.
Much love to Beyond the Boot. They really took us to the end there, but yeah, no, you've been listening to episode 17 of the Pit to Podium podcast.
Forza Jules.
Forza, but yeah, thank you, Eddie. Thank you everyone who has ever listened to the Pit to Podium podcast, and this is another edition of this podcast, and we hope to see you again in the near future. But from myself, Andrew, from Mark in the studio, and Trey and Sam in spirit, we want to say thank you, and just have a great day. You never know when it's your last, and you just want to really bring in every bit of life that you can get, and we want to thank you for
spending your time with us.
Spending a lot of time with us, and probably more time than we actually deserve.
This has been the Pit to Podium podcast here on U92 The Moose.